What's up guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Phil. In case you're clicking this video for the first time, you are very much welcome. In today's video, let's make lasagna. Yo guys, as many of you out there like me, I've always thought like lasagna is a very difficult recipe to make, but let me tell you guys, it is a very simple dish to make as long as you have the right ingredients and you have time. I've always wanted to make lasagna in this channel, guys. I've always wanted to make lasagna for you guys, and today we are making it, and I'm showing you the simplest, easiest method on how to make lasagna at home. It tastes so yummy. It is filled with that yummy ragu meat sauce, and it's also filled with cheese. You will love it. I loved it. I made this for the first time for my family and everyone enjoyed it. So this recipe requires like 4 steps. So first I'm going to show you how to make the meat sauce, which is so yummy. Second, I'm going to show you how to make the bechamel sauce, so simple to make. And then third, we're going to boil our lasagna sheets, and then the last step, we will just layer everything up, put in the oven, and voila, we have our lasagna. So I've listed the easy ingredients in the description box down below. Don't forget to check on that. So without saying more, let's get started. So first, let's go through all the ingredients that we will use for our meat sauce. So here I have some seasonings. I've listed all this in the description box down below. Don't forget to check that. I also have some minced garlic. Here I have some tomato paste. Also here is sugar. So the sugar is just to reduce the acidity that's in the tomatoes, since we are going to use a lot of tomatoes. I also have some chopped white onions. You can use red onions if you have. Also here is some blended tomatoes. So I blended 4 tomatoes for my meat sauce. Normally when people make lasagna, they will always use the canned tomatoes that are bought in the stores, but I actually found out that even blended tomatoes work well with lasagna. I also have some beef. So this is going to be a beef lasagna. Normally people will mix beef and pork, yeah, so but for today we're just using beef. You can go ahead and use any meat that you have. Lastly, here I have some vegetable oil. So now let's start cooking our meat sauce. So just put your pan over medium heat, and then you will add oil. You'll quickly heat that, then add the onions. You're going to saute this for about 30 to 45 seconds. So remember guys, I've listed all the ingredients for this recipe in the description box down below. Don't forget to check on that. So next here I'm going to add the minced garlic. Quickly saute that. This may take about a minute, so cook this until the onions become translucent. Next we are going to add the minced beef. So at this point you're going to make sure that you pound the meat into smaller pieces. This is just to avoid any big lumps, because we don't want any lumps in our meat sauce. So we are going to cook this for about 4 minutes while turning. Next we will add our seasoning. So I just added my seasoning and realized that my camera didn't capture that, so don't forget to add the seasonings guys. So as I've mentioned before, I have listed the seasonings in the description box down below. Don't forget to check on that. Next I've also added the blended tomatoes and the tomato paste. You're going to quickly mix that for about a minute or 2. And now is the time to add the sugar. As I mentioned earlier, you won't even taste the sweetness in this sauce, so don't worry about adding sugar in the sauce. So quickly mix that, and then next we will add some water. So I'm just adding 1 cup of water, and then I'm going to just cover this and let this cook over medium low heat for at least 2 hours guys. And as you can remember earlier, I mentioned that lasagna needs time, so this is the moment point where it takes time. So you'll just have to be patient and cook this for at least 2 hours. So in about an hour or something, you will realize that the water goes down. So make sure you don't burn your meat. So you'll just add another 1 cup of water and you let that continue simmering until you have a thick sauce. And as you can see, our meat sauce is ready. This has been sitting here for 2 hours, guys. I've just been checking on it and it is smelling amazing. It looks yum. You will love this in your lasagna. You can always make this in batch and just serve it with some spaghetti or any pasta that you like. But for today, we're going to make some lasagna. So we'll just remove this from the heat, set that aside, let that cool, and let's make our bechamel sauce. So bechamel sauce is a very easy white and smooth sauce that is made with basic ingredients. So you'll just need butter, all-purpose flour, milk, and also to season it, you'll just season with some nutmeg, salt, and pepper. So another alternative, if you don't want to use bechamel sauce in your lasagna, you can just opt to use ricotta cheese, which I find so many people use, but I don't like the taste and texture of ricotta cheese in my lasagna. So I just like using bechamel sauce in making lasagna, because this is actually the traditional Italian way of making lasagna. So to make your bechamel sauce, you'll just melt the butter, and once you see bubbles, we'll add the flour. So you're going to cook this on medium low heat, guys. So make sure you're not cooking it over high heat. You don't want to burn this, or else you will end up with a very funny taste at the end. So make sure you're stirring it occasionally until you form a roux. And now is the time to add the milk. So you're gonna add the milk in bits because we don't want any lumps. So once you add the milk, you'll continue stirring that. Continue just adding milk and stirring until you have a very smooth sauce. So just cook this while stirring until you see the bubbles. Normally cooking the bechamel sauce will take about 8 minutes, and as I mentioned earlier, don't at any point leave your cooking station because it will burn and you won't like the taste. So here is a simple test to know if your bechamel sauce is ready. So you'll just use your finger and make a small strip like that, and if the sauce doesn't move, that means that it is ready. So you'll just turn down the heat, and then you will season it with some nutmeg and salt and pepper. Mix that well for about a minute and your bechamel sauce is ready to use. And now let's cook our lasagna sheets. So here I have some store-bought lasagna sheets. You can go ahead and make the lasagna sheets at home if you have time. So the lasagna sheets don't even take much time. So you'll just add them to boiling water, and then we're going to boil this for at least 2 to 3 minutes. This is just to make them al dente because we don't want to overcook them. They will continue cooking in the sauce when we are making the lasagna in the oven. So after 3 minutes, just remove them from the hot water, and then you're going to line them on a tray like this. So I've just put some parchment paper, and the reason why I'm doing this is that lasagna sheets really stick on each other. So we'll just line them and then spread some oil. This is just to avoid them sticking on each other. And that's just that. Our lasagna sheets are ready for our next step. So now that we have everything ready, our sauce is ready and it has cooled down. Our bechamel sauce is also ready, and also we are going to use 2 cheese for this lasagna. I'm using mozzarella cheese and Parmesan cheese. So I've grated the mozzarella and I bought the Parmesan cheese already grated. So now it's time to layer our lasagna. So let's quickly talk about the trays that you can use for the lasagna. So I have this nice ceramic baking tray. If you don't have that, you can use this clear glass baking tray, which is actually oven proof, or if you don't have both of that, you can use these metallic ones that we use to bake our cakes. That will still work out fine. So now let's start our layering. So you will first add some oil to your baking tray, then you're going to make sure that all parts of the tray are covered with the oil. This is just to make sure that our lasagna doesn't stick to the baking tray. And then you're going to start with the meat sauce. So you're going to do it like this: meat sauce first, and then you will follow it with the bechamel sauce, and then after that you will layer the lasagna sheets and follow that with the mozzarella and the parmesan cheese. So just make it in that order until you reach the top. So it's just the sauce, the meat sauce, the bechamel sauce, the lasagna sheets, and then you finish with the mozzarella and the parmesan cheese. Also, when it comes to cheese, you can as well add some cheddar cheese if you want that sharp flavor and taste. Some people will always add cheddar. I mean, you can just make it according to your preference or to your taste. So just make sure you have at least 3 to more layers, because if you have less than 3 layers, that is not considered a lasagna, guys. So at least make sure you have 3 layers. So mine is just gonna have 3 layers. So when you get to the top layer, you will layer the sheets, and then you will spread the meat sauce. As you can see, the sauce is not much at the top layer, so make sure you just spread it all around the baking tray. And once you're done, you're going to add the mozzarella cheese. So at this point is where we need more mozzarella and parmesan cheese, so be generous with the cheese. So make sure you have enough cheese to cover the top part. So that's just it with the layering, guys. So next we're going to bake this. Before we place this in the oven, we will first cover it with a foil paper. So here I have aluminum foil paper. First you will make sure that you have spread some oil. This is just to prevent the cheese from sticking to the aluminum foil. So the use of the foil is to ensure that the moisture is trapped in the tin, and then the cheese will nicely melt in there. So you will preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 170 degrees Celsius. Then you're just going to bake this for about 40 to 50 minutes, and after that time is over, you'll just remove it, and then you remove that aluminum foil. And as you can see, our cheese has melted nicely. So we are not done yet. You will return it back to the oven and bake it more for 15 minutes. So this is just to let the top layer have that nice golden crust, and as you can see, it's looking amazing. It's smelling so good, guys. So don't serve it immediately. You're just going to let it rest first for about 30 minutes until everything is cooled down is when you serve. So just sprinkle some freshly chopped coriander leaves or parsley leaves, and you can serve it right away. Enjoy this with your family, enjoy this with your friends. Every bite is really yummy. You will love it. Go ahead and serve it with your favorite drink. You can serve it with some wine on the side, and I guarantee you are really going to enjoy this. So I hope you make it, and I hope you enjoy. And that's what I'm making today, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. As you can see, it is very easy to make lasagna at home. So I hope you guys make it, and as usual, if you try it, don't forget to tell me how yours came out in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more of my amazing recipes. We can always connect on Instagram or on TikTok at feels_kitchen. So till my next video, guys, bye.